Hello, hello, Marty. What's going on?
Hello, Chris. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks everybody for joining in with us here at Retro Life for You. We're doing our first live show. We are streaming live on Facebook, as I see right now. I'm just checking everything, and should be on YouTube as well if you prefer YouTube. And we're just clicked on for Instagram, so hopefully all three places are showing for everybody. And you can join in with us tonight and talk about collections. We're talking about for you guys, it could be anything you collected, I guess. For me and Marty, we were thinking about comic books and cards that we had. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well, and my vast toy collection.
and your
So
and your vast what?
my vast toy collection.
Oh, your what? True, your vast toy collection. I forgot about the toy collection.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
I collected like a lot of stuff, comics, cards, and toys,
Yes, I'm
but
not
I
sure how
only
that got
collected
passed.
certain toys. So
True, but I'm not sure how I forgot about the toys. Honestly, I mean, they're
yeah.
all over. They're all over the place there. How could I forget?
Well, as you can tell, they're up on my wall, and uh,
Oh, that's not the toy collection. Now, the toy
no,
collection,
that's just touching the that's just scratching the surface. Uh,
right? That's what I'm talking about. So, well, I mean, let's just jump right into it. Now, you were a lot bigger on comic books than I was.
yes, yes.
So, tell the people a little bit about the types of comics you collected, and if you had a particular series or a story that you liked best with them that you collected. I know, like Travis, for example, was a big still is a big Silver Surfer fan, and he was big on the Infinity War comic series.
Yeah.
Such
Well, I never did get into the Infinity War saga,
hmm
but I know of it.
hmm
But mainly, my collecting, well, it started in like the mid 80s, early 90s. But then I went back and started getting a lot of older issues, trying to build my collection. Mainly it was Marvel, but I did collect a little bit of DC, only because I really liked the Titans run that was done in the early 2000s, and
Yeah,
it was really good. So,
awesome, awesome. I the biggest comic that I was a part of was the GI Joe series, and that was basically it's the comic after the cartoon, I guess. I mean, they did the cartoon Real American Hero or Great American Hero. Which was it? I think it was Great
uh,
American Hero, wasn't
Great
it?
American Hero, I think.
No, no, Real American Hero. It was. It
Yeah,
was Real
a
American.
a real American hero. So that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah. So I was collecting those because I really liked the cartoon when it came out, and gosh, I think I had issues 1 through 38. So every month a new one would come out. So you're
Mm.
talking 3 years worth of collecting on GI Joe comic books alone.
Yeah,
And with
but
that being,
the thing is, back in the day,
Mhm.
comics was reasonable, and it didn't cost you like that much. But
Mhm.
as I still collected on into the 2000s, price wise, I mean, I would get in a month's time, I was spending like over $100 easy.
Are you
So
talking like a month
yeah,
on
a
different
month. Yeah,
like
uh,
on like how many different comics were you getting? You were spending $100 a month though.
man. Amazing Spider-Man, Uncanny X-Men, uh, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate Avengers. I was getting like little side arcs that carried over from, like, if it was, say, it was the when they did the X-Men versus the Avengers. You literally had to get the Uncanny X-Men comics, and you had to get the Avenger comics because it tied together. So So the whole story, it went from one comic to another comic. So, and that's how they grab you. That's how they get you.
That's exactly how they get you. It's called marketing. Mark. It's called marketing. We're gonna suck you in with this one to make you buy the next one, to make you jump over to this one because we wrote that one too, and we want all the monies are belong to me. That's what they said.
Yeah, and then even one of my favorite Hulk series was they did an adaptation of a cartoon, and it was Planet Hulk. But the cartoon didn't live up to the comic book at all. The comic book arc on Planet Hulk, and then it went into World War Hulk, was just absolutely phenomenal. It was just a great read. So,
well, I'm trying to think where I might have left off on the comic that I did, but since it was just G.I. Joe that I collected for the most part. I did have a few X-Men in there. Not a lot, but I had a few because I thought they were cool. But I didn't follow any stories.
Everybody thought mutants were cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you come to the X-Men, you had Cyclops and Storm and Wolverine and Gambit and Nightcrawler and just the name Nightcrawler alone was cool when you were young. You were young and everything.
Exactly, and he was blue and he looked like the devil.
Right, and then you had Colossus, the man who's like basically a Man of Steel for real.
Exactly.
It was just fun. So I mean, I didn't have anything that was an actual live story or an actual story that I was looking at, keeping up with, but I did have some scattered comics, different ones, just nothing in order with them. I'm trying to remember where G.I. Joe left off at with issue 38. I mean, the cartoon went for a little while, but the comic was a little bit more. I don't want to say too much more in depth, but a little bit more than the cartoon. The cartoon lasted about, without commercials, 20 minutes, 22 minutes.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, it was like I wouldn't say they downplayed it for kids with the cartoon series, but when it came to the comic books, I mean, it got super serious, especially with G.I. Joe. Like in the later years, dude, it was crazy. Like people getting killed off left and right.
The storyline in the earlier ones with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow was cool.
Yeah.
Just the story of Snake Eyes alone was fun. So I mean, there's that was cool.
But I know we were going to touch on cards also, and I know you collected mainly like sports cards and everything, but I know between the two of us, we both collected X-Men cards. So
yeah, I mean, going to the X-Men cards for a moment, those were just really nice looking cards, I thought. And since I was a fan of the X-Men, and at the time when I was buying them, I believe that X-Men, what was the X-Men cartoon called?
Just X-Men. That's all it
was. They kind of re-released it recently, though.
Disney Plus did X-Men 97.
Yeah,
just because that's when the original cartoon aired in 97. So.
Right, and those are where the cards basically were focused on. I think as the X-Men cartoon series back in that time, and all the extra X-Men that weren't on there as well.
Yeah,
that was a part of the X-Men universe.
Kinda. I mean, it focused on the cartoon series, but it also focused on like the actual comic books too, because you actually had like little side characters that you would get to know by reading the back of the card. And they were from the actual comic books, like Omega Red and Juggernaut and stuff like that. So and Venom,
Psylocke,
Psylocke.
Yeah, there was quite a few. Those were always fun to collect, and they were nice looking cards too.
Oh yeah, the masterpieces are great. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I had the entire first set that came out. And it was starting on the second set, and I stopped buying them for some reason. I don't know why, but I did stop buying them. Yeah, probably so. I mean, because putting out about $3. I think at the time they were about $3 a pack, probably $3 to
And
$3.50 a pack.
dude, I remember this. It was me, Paul, and Big Frank, and we were out in the Rivergate. And you know how back in the day, Paul always loved to cruise the mall, with everybody else.
Yeah.
And literally, like when we were getting ready to leave, we went over to the gas station, and I was grabbing something to drink, and I was just kind of looking around. I'm thinking about grabbing like a snack or something. I see a whole box of X-Men cards sitting right there on the shelf between me and Big Frank and Paul. We cleaned the whole box.
That does not surprise me. It does not at all.
Yeah,
That's cool though. I mean, you get what you're looking for. I
exactly.
mean, and you're building that collection.
And,
It's always
you get extras. So,
it's always more fun breaking the packs open
oh yeah.
versus just buying a complete set. I can't tell you how many packs I broke open for those things trying to get complete sets and subsets of things. And I think finally I just broke down and I bought a complete set of the first series, and then just all the ones I had gotten out of break packs was just extra at that point. But
Mhm.
I know, just like my baseball cards, I had a book dedicated to them with the protective sleeves and everything in them.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I had those, and I don't remember if I gave one of y'all the X-Men cards, or if they went with my sports cards when I finally passed them on to somebody else. I passed on my sports cards to a friend at work for his 10-year-old son, and I just talked with him just a few months ago, and he said they still had those cards up until last year, and they turned around and gave it to a little 10-year-old kid in the neighborhood who was just starting to get into baseball cards and stuff.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I thought that was cool because now some other little kid's going to get the joy of collecting cards, and they're going to have some good older cards. These were at the time these were 90s, and they were mostly basketball and football, but there was some baseball. My earlier collection was all baseball because that's what I played when I was younger, was baseball, and I really liked it a lot. So I mean, he had like I had like I had taken all my Jordans out because I was a Jordan fan, right? And I took all them out and kept them. But that kid, my friend's son, he got all the ones I had that were Kobe's and Shaq's and Tracy McGrady's and Allen Iverson's and Ray Allen's and Larry Bird's and Magic Johnson's and all the people that were stars in the late 80s and early 90s, that they were in there.
Yeah.
So depending on what team you liked, I probably had a card, and I had quite a few rookie cards for those people too. I had several Kobe Bryant rookie cards, which I didn't think about it at the time. I wish I had not let those go, especially with his untimely passing and everything that happened a couple of years ago to him. That would have been definitely more.
Yeah, no ones I actually hold on to. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been great to have. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just glad somebody else is getting a chance to enjoy them at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, when you think about it. It's like you're passing on, like, it's almost like you're passing on history to, like, you pass it on to one person, and now that other person is passing it on to somebody else.
Right.
So, yeah, it's really cool how you think about it. So,
Yeah, and I'm glad he did that versus trying to sell them or something, because if he'd sold them, it'd been fine. They were his. I gave them to him.
all right.
I'd have no complaint about it. But the fact that he did choose to give it to another young kid to enjoy like he did over those years, and plus add to it, because he gave that kid his collection too, that he had added to it and everything.
Nice.
So the kid got started with a big collection, and his parents were starting to buy him packs for today with the players of today to add to it and everything. So, but I mean, and cards are expensive today.
Oh yeah.
If you're into the hobby of buying sports cards and everything, it doesn't matter if it's sports cards or if it's there's wrestling cards now. WWE puts out cards for wrestling. I mean, you got other specialty type cards as well, whether it be I'm sure they still make Pokemon cards too, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
I mean, different things like that. And And then if you're into the games, like the card playing games,
the Magic and what is it? I want to say is it Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't know if they're all still viable or not, but there was Magic the Gathering, there was Yu-Gi-Oh, there was Pokemon, there was Hearthstone. I think Hearthstone's all digital, but I don't know if they ever put out actual cards or not. That was more, last gosh, how many years ago? Within the last 10 years, maybe. That's because Hearthstone's a Blizzard thing. It's based off of World of Warcraft. So I don't know if and then there's, I mean, if you want to expand past cards, and if you're into something like that, then there's always Dungeons and Dragons kids get into. I know my daughter has picked up on Dungeons and Dragons.
My son's and he plays. He literally plays every week, pretty much. So
yeah,
and usually he'll either host it here at the house, or he'll be over at his friend's house in his basement. So.
Well, I mean, at least they're having fun. They're experimenting with this stuff, and they're having fun. So that's good.
Exactly. And I can't say that I never, didn't play Dungeons and Dragons.
I can honestly say I didn't. I never played it, but that doesn't mean I didn't think it was cool. There are people that did, though. I never actually got into it. I mean, the comics and the cards and such, yeah, great, but something about it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't.
Wasn't appealing.
I mean, it really wasn't appealing to me because I mean, you're reading a story and you're just making decisions which way you want to go with it. Now, looking back on it, I mean, it's like it seems pretty cool, but
yeah, but it's but the thing is, it's more like that. D&D is more you're using your imagination to create.
Yeah.
Now, like World of Warcraft, it's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's already out there. It's viable. It's like you see digital images, and you don't have to use your imagination. So
right. Well, so I mean, we were starting on comics earlier to begin with and everything, and you talked about some of your favorite ones. Did you have a favorite story arc that they were going by? Like I told you, Travis was big on Infinity Wars.
Yeah,
and anything Silver Surfer was in, basically. But I mean, Silver Surfer was supposed to be in Infinity Wars as far as the comics goes and everything.
Well, I was about to say, I know, if Travis was here, I would ask him if he ever read Annihilation. Annihilation was part of the Silver Surfer Guardians of the Galaxy crossover, and it had it had everybody that was, it had Thanos, Adam Warlock, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Surfer, Nova. It actually had the Nova Corps was part of it too, and it was basically Annihilation was what it kind of boiled down to was they were all fighting against Galactus. So
he probably did. He was big in that. So I mean, I'm sure he probably did. If you can see, at one point in time, his backdrop was his comic books inside of protective sleeve things hanging on the wall. And he had something for his son Connor's room where he spelled the name Connor in comic books for him on the wall. I think it was.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got quite a few of them. So, you want to get him riled up? Tell him the Silver Surfer was a sissy.
Yeah,
Silver Sissy and his little surfboard.
well, and then, but I will say this: speaking of the Surfer, in Planet Hulk, the comic book series, in that story, they had already captured the Surfer on this planet, and it was basically this planet was like a war planet. Conflict after conflict. That's what that whole planet was about. and they had before they captured the Hulk and put him in the arena to fight. They had grabbed the Surfer, and I guess had him for like maybe a couple of years, and they had already basically beat him down to enough to where that he was obedient to the leader, and the Surfer and the Hulk had to throw down and beat the hell out of each other in the arena. So which was crazy because the Surfer wasn't riding his board, but he had on like this like a gladiator type, uniform and everything.
Right.
And he had strapped a leather strap around his surfboard and was using it like a shield. So which was really crazy. So
I have well, back in the day anyway, other than GI Joe, since we're talking comic books, I had one other series that I bought in its completion, and that was the A-Team. As you see behind me on TV, the A-Team is playing on TV back there. But they put out 4 comic books, and I had all 4 comics for the longest time. And when I ended up giving my comics to one of my best friends when I was younger to go with his collection and build it on, my A-Team went with it. Now, if we looking back, if we knew back then what we know now,
yeah, exactly.
Obviously, we would have kept all of those, right? I mean, we would have kept them all and
made them all nice looking, and just kept them all bagged and board and not reading them and flipping through the pages and breaking the binders.
I mean, I wish I own, to this day, I only own 3 comic books. And if you look on my wall back there, for those who are looking, you'll see a poster that is The Last Starfighter. It's a movie from 1984, I believe it is. And based on a kid named Alex Rogan who's grown up in some small town trailer park or something, wants to be something bigger and get out of where he's at. And an arcade game gets delivered by mistake to that trailer park, and he's always playing it, and he ends up mastering the game and defeating the game, and it turns out it's an intergalactic test looking for starfighters. Exactly. And so they come down and pick him up and take him back. And there's a good story with it. I'm not going to go in detail with it. Most people have probably seen it anyway, but I did not know for the longest time they made a comic book series of this, and it's just a 3-part comic. And that's it. And I've got
I think wasn't it based off of the movie?
Yes, it's practically the movie in a comic book.
Yeah,
is what it comes down to, basically. And I've got all 3 of them over there on the desk behind me somewhere. I think they're in the book where I've got all my autographs I've collected and everything over there. That's my big thing today. It's not comic books or cards for me. It's autographs. So I find myself going to a lot of Comic Cons, getting selfies made with people and getting their autographs and collecting those. And that's my fun thing to do, especially since we're doing this podcast. So, I mean, I've been able to meet a couple of people that we've had on the podcast live at the events. And if I was going to have my way, to be one more in a couple of weeks. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it though now, but it would be cool. Neil Ross is going to be at the Huntsville Comic Con, and he is the voice of some of our cartoon heroes in the past that we'd watched, like a couple of the people from the Voltron series. He's Shipwreck from G.I. Joe. He's a couple of Transformers from the TV series and one in the movie, I believe they had. The cartoon movie, of course. So it'd be cool seeing him if I get to go, but I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. But anyway, I've got the 3 Last Starfighter comics over there, and that's the only ones I've got. And I don't take them out of the plastic. I just leave them in there. Leave them in there and look at them. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when I was collecting comics, I would read the story.
Yeah.
As soon as I'd read the story, I'd close it, put it in a bag and board, put some tape on it, and then put it over with my other set of comics. I literally had like my Amazing Spider-Mans were here, my Uncanny X-Men were here, and then like the other stuff that I was collecting. I even had some Avenger comics. The story arc of the Avengers that I really liked was the Disassembled story arc, and it was basically where it's kind of weird because it was like the Scarlet Witch. You know how in the Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange movie, she went kind of crazy.
Right.
Well, and Disassembled, she had like kind of went a little crazy and was thinking that her and Captain America basically had gotten together and they had 2 kids, but she had like created these kids, and then it just kind of, when they disappeared, and then she just kind of just flipped out and started massacring like everybody.
Is this kind of where WandaVision come from? Do you think that
it could literally Disassembled could have literally spawned WandaVision, no joke. So they just left out key ingredient,
Right.
the whole Captain America thing.
Right. Well, I mean, they probably took just some inspiration from it.
Yeah.
And turned around and made something to go along to fit with the movies, since it was Vision in the movies.
Yeah.
And they went on to just keep up with that and all. So I mean, I can see that.
Man, dude, like one of the craziest things in that comic book was literally like, you see, like you're flipping through the pages, and then you flip the page over, and the Avengers Mansion is like in ruins. I mean, fire and everything and the whole place is just down to the ground. And literally, you see Vision like kind of walking out of the ruins, and he is like on fire and melting at the same time. It was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
And now, comics today. Go back to comics today. I mean, is it really still? I mean, I've not gone into a comic book store in so long. I really should, just for nostalgia, if anything, just walk into one and check out some of their old comics they got, plus some of the newer ones. But I know there's comics that are a lot more detailed and more graphic these days. But are those just the graphic novels they're doing that way, or have the comic books
the graphic novels?
So the comic books haven't really escalated to being something a little more serious at this point.
In a way, yes. In a way, no. Because I was like I said, I was an avid collector. I literally collected all the way up to when Disney bought Marvel. And I think I've even told you this before. I stopped collecting comics because they had started the numbers all back at 1.
Oh wow.
And starting the numbers all back at 1, and I was literally like the last Amazing Spider-Man that I was like, the number was almost 600. It was like 587 or 588. And they literally cranked it all the way back to number 1. I was like, I'm done. I am done. But what's crazy is I saw what Travis posted on that graded Amazing Spider-Man comic that he's got.
Yeah.
That number 1 issue is the day when Marvel and Disney joined, and they put that comic book out on that Wednesday.
What's your thoughts on Disney and the whole Marvel thing with Disney and stuff? I mean, are you a fan of the pairing, or do you wish they just never had gotten into it?
Uh, I'm gonna actually say there are some things that I like that Disney and Marvel have put out, and there are some things that I think is utter garbage. I mean, just
I was
uh,
gonna say something similar to that too. Yeah, because Disney, even though Disney, I'm not a fan of what they did to the Star Wars series per se.
yeah, me neither.
The last three, I mean, they're watchable for me because it's still Star Wars, no matter how you look at it. I mean, I will still watch it, just like I watched A Solo Story, just like I watched Rogue One. I mean, just like I'm watching The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and Andor and things. I mean, I'm going to
Yeah,
watch them. Ahsoka, I'm glad they put
mhm,
Ahsoka out. That's great. People were
yeah.
really wanting that for the longest time. The whole Clone Wars animation they had, now the Darth Maul animation.
Oh,
Um,
the mall series is first two episodes is great, like
yeah.
good, like
So I mean,
great.
I don't really have too much animosity toward Disney with some of it. I just wish they hadn't changed some of the stuff. I mean, they've had an opportunity to do great with things with the Star Wars and what they originally were going to do, and they passed off for something else.
Mm.
And
Well,
still,
I hate to say it, but that's all to do with a certain somebody that starts with KK, Kathleen Kennedy.
yeah, yeah, she who must not be named.
Yeah, she who must not be named. That is for sure.
I mean, but when you've got and what is his name? Plays Happy on with the Marvel stuff.
Oh man, if you hadn't said it,
I
I'd
know. See, this is what happens when we get older, right? We it's on the tip of our tongue. We can't think of his name.
exactly.
But plays Happy Hogan and Iron Man and some of the Spider-Man things. John Favreau
Mhm. Yeah, John Favreau.
and
Yeah,
John Favreau. With some of the things he's doing, I think it's cool and I like those. I wish we could get some more stuff like that. Um, and I don't know if he did Ironheart or not. But I told you what I thought about Ironheart. I wasn't a huge fan of
yeah.
Ironheart.
Um,
With the way they did some of the things in it, but it could have been it really could have been a good series if they put their mind to it. I think.
mhm. Now the one thing that I was impressed with, I mean, not I didn't really care for seeing the yellow and red Daredevil that was in She Hulk. That was kind of dumb. But when they brought him back from doing the Netflix show, and then they did Daredevil Born Again, the
Yeah.
first season, well, having Bullseye in it and everything, I was like, dude, this is good. So
Yes. Um, I can't wait to sit down and look at the new Daredevil series. I'm letting it get a few episodes in before I take
mm,
off with it and go. But
exactly.
I'm notorious for catching up too quick and then getting impatient from week to week. So I
Yeah,
I just kind
and
of
see
wish it.
that's where I'm at with Maul right now because I've watched the first two, and
Mhm.
now I got to wait until Monday until the next episode comes
Yeah,
out.
I almost and see we shouldn't be complaining. We grew up with things going week to week. Every week we'd see a new episode, right? So
Uh,
we're starting to fall victim to the mentality of the of today of I want everything now, now, quickly now.
exactly. Yeah.
We should be happy. Some people are trying to make things last for us for something to watch for a while, but we get so much into it. We want to see that we just can't wait for the next week, and you just really wish they drop them all at once.
Mhm.
Kind of like
Well,
what happened.
there's a couple of limited series that they did like that they would drop like all the episodes like all at once,
Hmm.
and I'm drawing a blank on a couple of them, but I know I want to say the Bad Batch was like that. That they released like so many episodes all at once, and then you would get so many more episodes later. So,
So you mentioned it earlier, and we haven't brought it up yet. But collecting, there's many things we collected over the years. I mean, we talked about some comics, we talked about some cards. Actually, before we jump to this next thing, jump back to cards for a second. But we talked about this the other day, but we didn't bring them back up again yet today. Garbage Pail Kids was a popular thing.
Yeah.
Back in that day. I mean, people loved collecting the Garbage Pail Kids cards. And then you had, if there was basically a movie that was popular, I think they were putting out some cards on it, or a TV series that was popular. You had A-Team cards, you had Knight Rider cards, you had WWF wrestling cards back in the day with the old WWF wrestling, well before it became WWE.
I had Star Trek and Star Wars cards.
Trek and Star Wars. E.T. cards. I made E.T. cards. There was Dukes of Hazzard trading cards that people had. I mean, anything that was popular at the time, they tried to capitalize with toys and collectible cards and sometimes comics.
The only thing that I couldn't remember if they actually did like horror icon cards, but I know I do have a complete set of the original Hellraiser movie cards that they did. It was maybe a couple of years after they did the movie, and they did a whole set. And I was actually lucky enough to grab the whole complete set from Great Escape a couple of years back. So
there's a store I should go to soon. I haven't been there in a long time.
The Great.
The Great Escape. Great Escapes, for those of you who don't know, I'm not sure if it's a franchise type thing or if it's just a local thing.
I think it's more of a Tennessee thing.
More of a Tennessee thing. I know of at least one location for sure. There was two nearby, and most of you who don't live here aren't going to know where these locations are anyway. But picture going into a store where you can purchase old toys, old VHS tapes, old DVDs, old comics, old albums, collectible cards of all kinds.
Old toys, dude. That's where I got a lot of my vintage toys from. So.
Yeah, back when I first found Great Escapes, I was into collecting albums at the time because DVDs and cassettes were a thing, and cassettes were a big deal, and DVDs had just started, and I was like, man, I want these albums. The artwork on the album covers looked really cool and a lot of things, and some of these albums came with collectible things too. So like I was a big Kiss nut. That's my favorite rock band of all time is Kiss. And like on one of their albums, I believe it was Love Gun, there was a plastic gun that they came with it that was the Love Gun, I guess you could say. There was something that came with the Alive 2 album, and I'll be darned if I can remember what it is right now. But there was something that came with the Alive 2 album, I believe. But that's the kind of things that different bands would do with their albums to make them collectible and everything. They may have included some kind of a prop with them.
Or really cool artwork that was on the front cover of the record.
Really cool artwork, and or maybe a different color vinyl that it was printed on. When it comes to artwork covers, Iron Maiden had a lot of cool.
Dude, the Maiden. My favorite cover is Somewhere in Time because it literally had that. It had that look of futuristic with Eddie, like being like a cyborg, like part Eddie and part machine.
Right. So they a lot of great artwork. Doc and Back for the Attack was a good artwork on there. Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction had good artwork on it.
Yeah.
The Kiss albums, for the most part, was usually them in some form on the cover, whether it be a cartoon version of them or just them in a picture. So, I mean, it wasn't a lot of creativity. Till you got later on, they had like Hot in the Shade, which was a Sphinx in the desert. That was kind of cool looking and everything that they incorporated into their concert show. Where when you went to the concert and they opened up, the mouth of the Sphinx would drop open and these green laser lights would be coming out and they would walk out to the mouth of the Sphinx. And
wow, that's sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then during the middle of the concert during their song God of Thunder, the mouth would open again and it would look like little radio wave things are going whenever it's talking, and it's mouthing the words to the song. And then there's laser lights from the eyes. It's going across the crowd like this, like it's looking at everybody and it's reading you or something. So that was pretty cool, actually.
That is cool.
So great stage shows.
But speaking of album covers, Ozzy, you know, back in the day, always had, you know, kick-ass album covers. You know, like Bark at the Moon, Diary of a Madman.
Yeah,
I mean,
and did good
and,
music.
I forget the name of that one album, but it had the artwork of. I can see it plain as day. I mean, it was a dragon's body with Ozzy's head on the front of it.
Was it an old album?
Yeah, an old album.
Was it Blizzard of Oz?
No, I don't think it was Blizzard of Oz, but it had like this girl on the front of it, and she had like this black teased hair, and she was like wearing like this white button-up shirt and black leather pants, and she had like red glowing eyes and stuff, and that was literally like my favorite Ozzy record cover like ever.
Yeah, I can't think of what I'm trying to think of different albums. That was not coming. It's not coming to mind to me though. I don't know. We will. You could be looking it up when we're done. You know how I am. I won't be happy until I won't be happy.
I know you'll be looking it up.
I won't be happy until. Matter of fact, I might be looking it up now. I'm not swearing to that, but I might be looking at Ozzy Osbourne album covers.
It would be like mid 80s.
Well, I'm looking for album covers hoping to have the titles. So you get The Ultimate Sin.
That's it. The Ultimate Sin.
The Ultimate Sin. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. And Blizzard of Oz, I mentioned, is just him sitting on the floor, kind of twisted around, looking at the camera.
Yeah, he's in a straight jacket. So,
something like that. It looks like a straight jacket. I'm not sure though.
Mm-hmm. I often wondered, like Ozzy's Bark at the Moon music video. Do you think Stan Winston did like the makeup effects for like putting Ozzy in the werewolf, kind of that werewolf look? So,
yeah, I don't know.
I was either thinking it might have been Stan Winston or it could have been the other guy. He did all the creature effects for like Friday the 13th. Well, he did all the visual killing effects for Friday the 13th. He did Creepshow. Tom Savini. Yeah.
No.
I was thinking maybe even Tom Savini might have even done the werewolf, because he that was who did the Howling visual effects.
Yeah.
All the makeup effects for the Howling was Tom Savini.
So we've covered our comic books we was collecting growing up. We talked about the cards and touched on them and everything. Various other things, but the one thing we haven't got to yet, and we mentioned it earlier, somebody on this video, and it's not me, has a massive toy collection to this day. A lot of it's still in the boxes or on the blister packs and things like that, and a lot of things that are not in a package that is loose.
Yeah,
that you may have bought loose or just had when you were a kid or something, maybe, I don't know. But so let's talk about what you some of the things you got. I know you got a big Star Wars collection.
Yes, I got some stuff from the 80s, not a lot. But when they re-released Star Wars back in like the early 90s, out on video, and they actually re-released all the toys, and I jumped on it. I was like, I am getting as many as I can possibly get.
No, well,
And
these
I
are
got
re-releases. The re-releases of just the regular Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, not the Dark Force stuff.
right.
Okay, did you get into the Dark Force series?
I even got like Shadows of the Empire toys. So and they weren't even a like a cartoon or a movie. They were like a graphic novel that they had done back in the day, and the Shadow of the Empire toys was based on in between. It took place in between the end of Empire and before Return of the Jedi. And these toys was basically where Bosk and Dangar and like all the bounty hunters, they were all after Boba Fett trying to get Han Solo and the Carbonite.
Now, did I say that right a moment ago when I said Dark Force, or was it called something else?
It did have the Force on the package. It said, but it wasn't like it didn't say like the Force Awakens or anything like that. But
No, but I mean, it was. I always thought it was something like whenever Luke Skywalker was kind of like partially, turned dark or something, or was fighting turning dark.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said Dark Force. I thought it was something like that. I just can't recall. It's been so long since it's been out.
They even did some of the toys off of Shadows of the Empire, and that was your referencing when Luke started to turn bad, and they actually had a figure on a couple of figures on that. So, I might have been even what was on the package. It actually probably did say Shadows of the Empire. So
okay, given something like that. Like I said, it's been such a long time. There was like a dark backing with some green glowing letters in some parts of it and such. But that's all I really remember on that one. Did you collect? So, other than Star Wars, what did your toy collection move towards?
Marvel and
Marvel
a little DC.
Marvel Legends and just Marvel in general figures,
Marvel,
right?
Dude, I've got like the whole. I mean, like I said, eventually I had to give up my toy collecting because I was not about to almost spend $30 a single figure.
It got crazy.
It got absolutely ridiculous.
I found myself at one point when we were living in Florida. I was buying wrestling figures that were the elites. So the elites were much more detailed and closer to looking like the facial features and things of the actual wrestlers, and they were just nicer. They had different, they had like full ring attire with them, stuff like that. So I mean, those were kind of fun for me, but they were $25-$30 a piece, and some of them might have been a little more because you might get like a Target exclusive, and Target, since it's Target exclusive, instead of $25, they wanted $30 or $35 for it.
Exactly.
But then you'd get a shocker sometimes and go in and there'd be like a set, like they had a Four Horsemen set. And for any of you who are wrestling fans that you're my age, you probably know who the Four Horsemen were. But Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Barry Windham was the ones they had in there with J.J. Dillon. I think Barry Windham was in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so collecting those, and I had to quit buying those. They were just getting too much. So I ended up I sold off half my collection, and I gave all the smaller Jakks figures and Mattel figures to my friend Mike for his kids. And one of my friends named Ray, I sent my WCW figures that I had because he's a big fan of that particular territory and everything, and sent all those to him to display and everything. So, but today they're very expensive as well. I mean,
That's the reason why I quit.
Yeah, most everything is expensive, too expensive to buy these days. It seems like.
Mm. Now there are some Star Wars figures that I'll walk down the Walmart aisle. I'm looking and I'm looking at these figures and I'm like, man, oh, that's cool. And I look at the price and I'm like, oh, that's not cool.
It's not that cool. Look, when you were buying the Marvel characters, now those had pieces for like build a character, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So, how many of the build a characters did you get in full?
I have a build a character. I have 2 Sentinels that literally stand 13 inches tall.
Yeah.
And I've got a 13-inch Galactus. I've got a I want to say he was about maybe a 7 or 8-inch Onslaught, so that I was able to pick up, and the one figure that I always wanted to get, but I never did get a chance to get it. A certain somebody jumped on it at a Great Escape and got it before I could. But
it wasn't me. I know that.
No, it was Apocalypse. So, and he was 13 inches tall. So
they used to do the same thing with the wrestling figures. When you bought the Elites, you had a body part here, a body part there, till you could build somebody. I never got into it to the point though to where I bought all of them for the build a piece thing. So I never really had any of those. Now I will say when you resold them still in the package and they had the build a piece in it, that tend to brought a lot more money than just the wrestler itself.
Yeah.
So if you were in it for their resale or something like that, then that was kind of cool for that. I was never in it for the resale purpose though. I mean, I was in it for the collection, and some of my Elites I also took out of the box and just put on display on the shelf.
Yeah.
So some of them that I mailed out were Elites.
I don't know if you were working at Walmart at the time, but it was in the late 90s. No, it was in the early 2000s.
No, I wasn't working. Maybe
it might have been like right around 2009, 2010.
No, I wasn't working.
But Walmart had exclusive Marvel Legend toys that I guess they had made a deal with Marvel, and they had their own exclusive toys that they put out, and the Build-A-Figure was a giant Ant-Man.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and I actually have I'm the one reason that I never did open those. Believe me, I really wanted to. I wanted that giant Ant-Man, but these figures were so, I don't know, they were so rare, and there was like so many of them that, I mean, out of that whole set, I think there was like 13 or 14 figures that they did for just like a Walmart exclusive.
Right.
And how I got, and literally how I got all these figures is that I was picking up the wife one night because she was working late, and so it was right around Blitz. You remember when Blitz would happen right around Christmas time?
What was it?
Like Black Friday almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm in the store. I'm just cruising down the aisles and just looking around, watching all these people go crazy and shit. But I go down the toy aisle and then I'm like looking and I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? What is this? And it just had this big Marvel Legends like sign up above this whole display, and I literally grabbed all 13 figures and put it on layaway, and that's how I was able to get all those. It was the price,
You know,
literally.
I will have to admit, I haven't bought many figures in a good while. Now, if you can tell in the background behind me where the TV is, I'm not sure how much you can make out of it. There's two G.I. Joe figures up there. I forget the series they call it, but they're very realistic looking, just like the
Oh
rest
yeah,
of them.
those are great looking. So
Yeah, I love those things, and I want to take them out of the box so bad and just put them up for display, but that's the only two that I have. And I'm not sure if I'm going to buy any more of them. I would really like to. There's a big series, and they're very well detailed. But if I was to go back to wrestling figures again, let me grab a couple of these and show you real quick. They're right behind me, back there behind my shoulder. You can see them back here standing up, but you might not be able to make them out real well. So let me grab a couple of those. So my friend Ralph in Panama City, Florida, where I used to live, he sent these to me. He had ordered them. He orders all of these. He's got every last one of these that this company has put out for wrestling figures. And they're called the Big Rubber Guys. Matt Cardona, who was Zack Ryder in the WWE, and I forget the Kurt Hawkins. I think it was his wrestling name. I don't know what his real name is. I think the two of them put these out together. I do know Matt Cardona for a fact's a part of it though. So these right here, if you were a wrestling fan back in the more comical type days, I guess maybe it's Demolition, and this one here is which one is that? I think that's Axe. Yeah, Axe. Demolition Axe. The
yeah.
the detail on these things that they put out is so great. It's spot on with the face makeup on it, the face paint, the suit. They get little black hoods that they put on their heads. They're spot on. That was Axe, and this one is the other tag team partner they ran with for the longest time called Smash. And like I said, very, very good detail what they did. They've also got Crush in the background back there. I didn't bother picking him up and bringing him over here, but when they added him to the mix, they did a really good job on that as well. So I don't know if you can make these out on the back very well. They make that's one of the first lines of ones I don't know if it's one of the first lines or the latest line, but that's one line they got out there. You see the Road Warriors on there. You see a couple of Macho Mans, Randy Savage. You see a Missy Hyatt. I think there's a Ric Flair on there. What else? We got a Dusty Rhodes. You got a Brian Myers. Brian Myers might be the other guy that was doing this with him. I don't know. Bad News Allen. Anyway, very nicely done things. But the problem is for me, these are about $50 a piece when they come out. About five at a time come out in a series, and my buddy Ralph will go and get all five of them, and he'll pre-order them, and then one day they show up at his door and goes through his collection. And these things are huge. They're just like the old LJN figures that the WWF had. Those big rubber wrestlers they had. They didn't call them big rubber wrestlers, but like that's why they call these big rubber guys, because they remind you of the old LJN people.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say when I put those figures on layaway, all those figures, those 13 figures, they were all like $12.99 a piece.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine, I had to put so much money down, and then like right before Christmas, I had to go bail it out. So
everything's higher these days. So
yeah. The thing is, if the Marvel Legend figures were still $12.99, I'd probably pick up a few. I'd pick up the ones that I really want, but I'm not about to spend like $20 on just like just a single figure. So I mean that's crazy. So
Well, I mean, it's it's something you collect that you won't ever be able to buy again later down the road. So if you're truly collecting and putting it back to have that massive collection later on that you could go back and revisit and look at, or if you're holding it for resale later because you think it might hold value to it, whatever the case may be. I mean, I imagine if everybody out there that bought Hot Wheels knew that the ones with red lines around the tires were going to be worth so much,
or the treasure hunt.
Oh well, the treasure hunt should be self-explanatory. That'll hold some value. It's like a sub-series car. It's just like a special car. So treasure, especially with the word treasure in front of it, and it's a treasure hunt.
Yeah, it is a treasure.
it's hard to find. It's a hunt for the treasure. It's a treasure hunt. I had a few treasure hunt cars. But at the time when I had the treasure hunt cars, as well as the Hot Wheels I was buying, I was actually reselling on eBay. I wasn't collecting for myself. So I would go to the wall.
I was literally able to, like, I want to say the very original treasure hunts that came out in the late 90s. I want to say like 99, 98 or 99.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a whole 1 through 30 complete set downstairs.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
I used to be the one that would go to Walmart and buy them for $1, or
I'd be right there with them dudes, like them toy collectors, waiting for somebody to. I'd be just hanging out there with them, and then somebody walk over, an employee, they'd grab the box, pop it open, and then they'd stand back because everybody's just digging it.
Right. Right. And if you get to know the people that were putting the goods out on the floor, they may say, you tell them what you're looking for, they may set it aside for you.
Yeah. Well, I got very familiar with a few of them employees.
And I used to know a guy who had a complete set. He's not living with us anymore. He's been passed away for quite a few years, but he had every Hot Wheels set, I want to say from 89 or 90 clear into the 2000s at some point. He would buy the complete sets that would come out. So and there's a lot of other people that would do that. That's why I would go to Walmart and I would get like 10, 15 at a time of the $1 cars if they looked like they were nicer cars. Like, it'd be like the Corvettes or the Mustangs, the Camaros, the muscle cars,
or the motorcycles. I mean, those are super rare. The motorcycles are like I've got like a couple of the motorcycles still in the package, and I've got 2 that are loose. So
it's crazy what you could do though. You could buy. I mean, I was buying them for $1 and selling them for $4.
Yeah.
Because people would do this. I mean, if like when it comes to Hot Wheels, let's say the different boxes are A through G. So box series A is released on the East Coast first for so many weeks or something. Then it moves on to the middle United States area or something. Or I'm not quite sure how they break down the areas where they drop them first and everything, but it rotates around is what I'm trying to get at. So if you didn't get all of set A at the store while it was out there,
well, you were just SOL.
Here I am. Guess what I got? I got 3 or 4 of this car, 3 or 4 of that car, especially if I noticed they were popular selling cars. I was doing this on eBay. I would look up the cars individually and see how many of them were being sold, and you get a good idea of what was selling, what wasn't. And I would make $4 a car, basically. I mean, it wasn't really super gouging or anything, but for people who wanted to finish their collections, they would buy them.
Oh yeah.
To finish
Yeah.
your collections.
And I mean that was the thing. You weren't hurting their pocket like too much. I mean,
No, I
like
mean I wasn't
four
going.
dollars shipping.
I wasn't going like shipping was like $1,
Mhm.
$1.25, something like that. But I didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't
you didn't
really.
gouge them. You didn't gouge them.
No, I wasn't making. I wasn't charging like $7.50 to ship. You know, $7.50 to ship would have been gouging because it cost $3 and something to ship it. And well, so I would, I say $1.25, $1.50, whatever it was to ship. The actual cost of shipping is what they paid. Actual shipping
Mhm.
costs. They didn't pay for supplies. So I didn't
Yeah.
charge for the little boxes. I didn't charge to, keep myself within tape and things. I didn't believe in stuff like that. And so I just charged for the vehicle itself and then the initial shipping cost on it and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
But see that almost brings that whole loyalty, like status, that whole, this person ain't gonna gouge me on a price. I'm gonna see if he's got it first, before I go looking somewhere else or somebody's gonna charge me $10, to ship, this Hot Wheels to my house.
right,
So,
right. So, well, Marty, I think we're about to wrap this thing up. It's been a blast tonight. Our first live episode. Um, we've had a few people stop by. I have seen it on the screen, just so you guys know. I did see. I thank you for stopping in. The length of time that you did. If you feel like next time you want to jump in on the conversation and whatever we're talking about, and let it be known what it is you had, please do so. After the fact, here, if you want to go ahead and put in the notes there what your collection was like, whether it be comics, cards, or toys, or like I'm doing today with autographs and everything, whatever the case may be, drop it in there and let us know what you're doing today as
yeah.
far as collections go. Because
I was
hey,
gonna,
you're never too old to be collecting something. Don't let anybody tell you differently.
exactly. I was gonna say the whole autograph thing in my shared office. I'm more of a horror fan when it comes to autographs. You know, I've got Sid Haig, which he's now passed away. I've got Kane Hodder. Let's see. I've got Gunnar Hansen, which is the original Leatherface, and he's passed away. Uh, and there's a few that are coming up here soon. Like I want to get Robert England's autograph. If I have to spend that big money to get the VIP, I guess I'm gonna do it. So
One of these days, yeah, I get to spend. Sometimes the VIP is worth it though.
yeah,
So if you like the show, be sure that you like and subscribe to us
hit that
on
bell, hit that
YouTube.
bell.
Definitely hit that bell because that's what tells you when we have new shows come out. When you hit that bell, so make sure you're doing that. And if you happen to be on Facebook, following us on there, like and follow there, and share us with your friends and family that like the similar things here, such as retro movies and TV. Our podcast in general is retro movies, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
And
Well, and then our little side adventures. We also talk retro, but it's like retro TV. And here soon, I remember me and you were talking about it. You said you were going to try to get that girl back on. That the when we talk about our music videos that our hair bands that we liked back in the day.
yeah,
So,
Lori, if you're listening, I'm still after you, Lori. If you're listening right now, you know who you are. I'm not Lori Tucker, Miss Lori Tucker. She's great. All right, she's great. Really nice lady. She was one of the teachers in Hot for Teacher in the Van Halen video. She's been in several others as well. So really nice lady, and would love to have her back on here again, especially when we talk hair bands and all. Very knowledgeable on that. So we'll have her on there with us as soon as we can. But we do hope you guys, like I said, enjoy the show and all. And Marty, um, what is it? I know you know without me even
I
asking you if you
I
know.
know about it, but
You
you
know,
got but the thing is, you've got to ask me.
Marty, what would you like to say for the people?
Always stay retro.